Hello and welcome to another episode of the AV Experience where Jonathan forgets about us and leaves me hanging for 3 minutes. He's like, "Oh crap, give me a minute. I've forgotten about all of our important people that get on to watch us." That's usually my job. And Jonathan texts me and goes, "Are you coming?" So I get this feeling that Jonathan just knows, and then I show up. It's like, "Oh, the chosen one is not here."
I blame Tim. Tim had me over at his house till like after 3 a.m.
You
last
hear
night.
that, Tim? He is blaming you.
I had a work day today. It was a
Blaming
hard day.
you. But you went over to Tim's to get a kind of an initial run because he wants to do M-Wave.
Yeah.
Or he is doing M-Wave. I mean,
His room is really great. Like early reports. The first report.
First report, because Jonathan is the first report.
It was great. Like he had it dialed in nicely. There's a couple things that we fixed. He had a phase issue with the subwoofers, like the old NX amps, the old iNuke amps actually ran out of phase, and the new NX don't. But something was a little off, and that was so he had wired it correctly according to what he thought, but it was backwards. So we fixed that. His subs are actually out of phase with his mains. And then his JTR 212 HT that he bought from M-Wave 2024 had a driver that was wired backwards.
Oh.
So we were noticing the driver cones weren't moved as much. And when he was measuring it wasn't measuring right. So we took a look at it and pulled the drivers. And one of the drivers red to red and black to black. And the other one was red to black and black to red.
Oh.
Simple fix.
Well, that'll do it. At least those speakers are easy to work. I mean, most speakers are easy to work on in that regard of pulling drivers and rewiring them. They're not complicated.
The thing that kind of is a little bit sad into my soul here is Jeff. I don't know if you've seen his crossovers, but if you haven't seen his crossovers, they're like a work of electronic art. I mean, they're beautiful. Like for something no one ever sees, he does meticulous work on them. Red wire, like perfectly laid out on a breadboard. Like they look nice, and they're homemade, and they're very well made. And then he has help in his shop, and his help is not as careful, perhaps, that assembles the drivers and stuff. And so like he spends hours and hours making these beautiful crossovers, and then the wires are connected.
I mean, let's be real. It's probably Jeff. It was probably Jeff. It's like, this is one of Jonathan's friends, and he gave me crap for ruining his grout. So I'm going to wire this backwards. He's back in the corner, whispering to Tony, like, Tony, before he takes that speaker,
switch it.
Reverse the polarity.
Yeah.
Screw it up for him. Nah.
So the real simple solution to test that actually is if you play like we played a 5 hertz test tone and turned off any kind of made it the speaker full range, 5 hertz test range, low volume. It's well below port tune, and the drivers get moving, right? And on the two towers on left and right, the drivers are pulsing in sync, the big 12-inch woofers. And in the middle, they're not moving at all, like they're fighting each other. So like the movement is very restricted, very low. Immediately something's wrong. Pull the driver, start looking. Hopefully it's not a crossover board. It wasn't. It's just the wiring was literally very easily wrong. The terminals on the woofer are red and black, so easy to see. The wires red and black, mismatch on one of the drivers. It happens.
Colorblind.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. Things happen. It's all good.
Easy to fix.
All good. Sega Master saying so I was talking to him either on Facebook or Reddit, and he's making sure I'm not a scammer because he wanted an NZ500, and I told him about the stream, so I guess he's coming on here, making sure that I am not a scammer. No,
watch out for that guy. That's not.
Watch out for that guy. He gets you. He's got this elaborate scheme. He even has a stream going where he's really into taking people's money. No, Sega, we'll get you taken care of. Don't worry. Did you watch Mickey 17?
I did.
I did too.
What was your thought? Letter grade. Your school. C is average.
I really liked that it was different. The beginning was great. And then it kind of floundered a little bit.
Floundered?
I don't know. My brain didn't have a word, and it mixed two together. Okay,
I'll let it go.
Let it go. I felt like I was watching Donald Trump.
I was part of a text group today that was talking about that very thing, and someone else suggested that.
Yeah, it felt like just the the speech patterns and stuff, that felt very much the same.
Do you think that's
So
intentional?
I don't know. I
With his
read
recent outburst, from Ruffalo, it really could be
it
intentional.
really could be. I read a little bit about it, but nobody really knows. So they don't. People were speculating, like, I don't know if this was modeled off of that or not, but it felt very much like that. Um, I really liked that it was different. It I didn't like the second half as much. I'd give it a C.
I'd give it a C minus.
Okay.
So we're in the same ballpark.
Yeah. Some of the audio, though, was really good. Some of the audio was great, but love the premise. It's like Megan. Have you seen Megan? You probably haven't seen Megan. So Megan's about this doll that is kind of like Chucky, but it's not as evil as Chucky, and it's supposed to be a best friend for kids, and then it ends up still being a best friend for kids, but executing that poorly. I liked the premise of it. It was executed poorly. I liked the beginning of Mickey 17. The second half was, I didn't like the alien idea and stuff, but I understand that this was off of a book. So
I've not read that book.
I haven't either. I think they made, supposedly the wife doesn't exist in the book. I don't know where she came from. But it was enjoyable. I wouldn't watch it again. If that's my review.
I think your review is pretty close to mine. I felt like it had a lot of potential. I think the premise could have been like an A.
Oh man, when it started, I was fully engaged.
Yeah.
It was great. And then it kind of went downhill from there. Wasn't there a secret level episode, or it was a not Live Die Repeat, but Love and Robots episode? You didn't watch all of those, I don't think, but it was the premise where the main character was a test subject.
Yes, I do remember something like that.
Very much like that.
Where he kind of agreed to basically die or
he didn't die.
For experimentation.
He was giving up parts of his body.
Yeah.
At the very end, he's given up everything, and you find out that the main character's like a
for the girl, and the girl doesn't care anything about him.
No. Basically. So I think
you're right. That's a good
very similar. I liked that premise a lot more. That I was emotionally involved in Mickey 17 at the beginning, and then I was emotionally uninvolved at the end. The main villain ruined it for me. Like,
you said you didn't like, and I agree with you, but that was what ruined it for you?
It was just too
over the top.
Over the top. Yes. It could have been fine if it wasn't that over the top.
And I 100% agree. It would have been a lot better if they played it straight. That's what I was telling the guys in the text message today.
Yes. I agree. It's a new movie, so I won't ruin it for people.
But Tim was one of the members of that text message, and Tim was saying, like, I liked that because it's something that's a little different. It's played in a fun way. Like, he was over the top intentionally. It was creative. It was all in. Like, he didn't hold back.
I wanted it straight. I think it was just a little too much. It was too enthusiastic. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, it crossed the line for me too, and it ended up being just kind of too dumb, because you're thinking, like, this is a mission to a foreign planet. This guy is elected by the people. He's really well known. He's a political leader, and he's like dumb as a box of rocks. I mean, it reminded me like the Fallout people that are inbred in the shelters that can't, they're just not.
God, doesn't that drive you nuts?
It's like there was that kind of thing though, like. And it wasn't just him. For the first little bit of the movie, I was thinking this guy's a puppet, and the mastermind is controlling him in some way, and he's just out there as like a figure. But there's intelligence behind. But there wasn't. Like, he was the mastermind of the operation, and he was dumb as a box of rocks.
Yeah. Somebody was saying it should have been a 6-part movie or 6-part limited series. Anyway, so Basic Theory says you guys need to start your own popcorn rating. Always spot on with how I feel about movies. Megan could have been good, started good, then fell off. Glad we rented and didn't purchase it. I really think, Jonathan, you and I should do a letterbox together.
How does that let you have 2 different scores?
I don't think so, but we could do a shared account, like where we kind of agree. We talk about each movie we do, and then we agree on a rating. Like, we average our ratings or something.
Yeah, like the AV Experience letterbox or something.
Yeah. And people can follow us, so I'll set that up. I have my own, or I'll just change the name of mine, and we'll go back through and redo things because I think that'd be cool to go back and look at what movies we've done. And I think you and I need to also sit down and work on. We should have a Atmos playlist, like one playlist, and then we should have a 2-channel playlist so that we can add stuff to, so people can know what we're listening to. Because you and I do go through quite a bit of stuff, and we listen to a lot of different stuff. Like when I'm over there for your demos and when you're in my demos, you have no idea what's going to come on.
Right.
I mean, it could be old jazz. It could be like slave railroad songs. It could be electronic music. Who knows what's going to come on, but all in good taste. We should do that. I agree.
The other thing that I was a little bit put out by on the Mickey 17 is all the like. Let me put it this way: if that was like an NC-17 movie by some kinky horny director behind the scenes, and the studio said no, we're going to chop all that out and put none of it in there, but the undertones were still there. Like that's the vibe it got to me. Like the creepy sexual stuff through the entire movie with like. It didn't show anything on screen, but it was just all over the place.
It added nothing.
It added nothing, and it was uncomfortable.
The only one that added something was the last one, where the conflict, like you knew it was coming, but when I can't say anything because I don't want to ruin the movie. The last one that they had, that was the only one that kind of added some. Everything else was just unnecessary.
I mean, Mickey gets cloned, and there's two of them. And the first thing the girlfriend wants to do is like take him to the bedroom, and like
don't ruin things.
It's like that. The entire plot, the leaders that way, like it's just Jonathan's it doesn't even make sense.
Things. That wasn't my fault, chat. Anybody that watches this in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like if they played that movie straight, it could have been a lot better.
I think a lot of movies are like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against sex scenes in movies, but it's got to increase the plot. And in a lot of context, in a lot of scenarios, in a lot of films, in a lot of shows, it doesn't at all.
No.
In a show like Game of Thrones, it did, because it's facilitating connections. You have the Lannisters, and there's incest going on. I mean, there's reasons for everything, and it goes with the plot. And the books were very much like that. But this one, unnecessary. Chat's probably going to be like, it was totally necessary. And I don't think so.
I don't think it was necessary either.
Unnecessary. Did you watch anything else?
Yeah, we watched the first Mission Impossible, and I'm going to go through that series with my daughter,
How was that?
14-year-old. I haven't actually seen that first Mission Impossible. I've seen pieces of it. I liked it. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's great. It's probably a C. I enjoyed it. The plot was confusing. I mean, I don't even really understand what the plot was. I think they were kind of relying on you to like be confused and then kind of catch up through the movie. But I almost felt like I wanted to watch it again to kind of catch up what was going on. And I think that's overdone if you feel that way after a movie.
Yeah.
I've heard the second one that I haven't seen either is like the worst in the series, but I think we're going to watch that tonight after the podcast.
So I think we talked about The Long Walk already.
Yes.
Did we talk about Small Things Like These?
No.
So Small Things Like These, who is it? What is it? Cillian Murphy is, I think, how you pronounce his name. I love him as an actor. He did an amazing job. This movie is not for everybody. It is pretty slow. My wife enjoyed it, but I really liked it. I'll call it a small movie just because it doesn't take place over this huge area. It doesn't involve a ton of characters. Cillian has a lot of screen time. It's different than what we've all gotten saturated with the action movies and stuff. It's just a different serious drama. I enjoyed it. It's worth watching, but it's not a feel-good movie at all. So enjoyed it. I gave it a What did I give it? I gave it a 4.5 star. I liked it.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, I liked it. 4 to 4.5. It was emotionally engaging. Killian always does that for me. He's a great actor. Fantastic. Don't think I watched anything else this week. I'd have to go back and check my playlist. Any new music? Did you find anything?
I was over at Tim's last night. Like I said, we tried to listen to my AI playlist, of which I'd saved 33 of my favorite songs on a YouTube playlist. There are now like 4 songs left. They've taken them all down. So that's super lame to me.
I mean, they got copyrighted or something.
But they're still, I mean, like, if you guys had watched the AI streaming video that I did, those are the same playlist. They were cover songs, but they were very different from the original. I mean, that's one of the reasons I liked them. There's cover songs all over YouTube by humans. Why don't those get ripped down? It's like,
I don't know.
I think the industry's attacking it very strongly is what it amounts to.
I mean, I get it. I get why. I understand it from their perspective. I don't know what to do with it.
I mean, you could go look up a cover song from humans on every popular group. They're just all over. And they've been there for years and years and years. They're not even fighting to take them down.
Yeah.
But AI makes cover music that has hints of the original music and the same lyrics, and they're ripping them down as fast as they can pop them up.
There's a lot of outcry from Hollywood and a lot of those about all that stuff. And people are saying, well, my livelihood. And part of me wants to say, man, it's okay if you're not making $1 bajillion. I get it. It hurts, but I don't know how to feel about it, I guess.
I mean, Tim and I were talking about that quite a bit last night. He's kind of against it just in the face value. I really was enjoying it. Like, I still would really enjoy it. There's just a lot of, you can say there's no creation ability in it. It's all mimicry, but I don't even think that's true. I mean, I was showing Tim the Sono tool last night because he was kind of refraining that AI can't create anything. And he asked me to like show him how it could create something. He asked me to put this prompt in there. Make a song that tells a story you want to tell. And like, it makes a song with music. You can make it have any instrument you want. You want an accordion, you want a trombone, you want a baritone sax, like whatever. You pick the instruments. It makes a song, writes the lyrics. The lyrics make sense. They're as good as human lyrics. And then it creates notes. And that's not a song that's repeated from somewhere. It's making a new song with solos, with everything. I mean, it's like, and some of the stuff, even that we made last night with the free app, was pretty decent. And so, like, I just told Sunos to make a song about Tim, who didn't want to believe the AI music was worth listening to. And it made this, like, basically poem and put it to music about how Tim, might be missing out on some of the creativity and all this kind of stuff. Is like an interesting little song. I mean, like you wouldn't know, A, that a human wasn't singing it, and B, that it made, when I pushed a button, it instantly made it. It's just there. And you can edit it from there. So it does have, I mean, we've talked about this before, several podcasts. It does have a lot of implications for the music industry, but it's also really interesting to see as a human and just see how fast it can make that stuff when it takes humans weeks and weeks and music studios and sound designers and professional recording processes and sessions and all that stuff. And you just push go and it makes it in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it.
Edit it however you want from there. If you haven't played with the Suno tool,
I've played with the AI stuff. I don't know how to feel about everything.
It's free to just poke around with it.
Chat should play with it.
You should. You should kind of know what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
I agree. We're going to jump into questions here in just a moment. If you guys have questions for us about AV, home theater, why Jonathan's so good looking, drop them in chat. We will get into them in the order they come in. And we'll impart our opinions on everybody and maybe save some money, maybe save you some money is what I meant. So you don't have to run into the same headaches that we've encountered on our journeys. Big Street says -5 degrees Celsius in Sweden.
What is that in Fahrenheit?
Not as cold as we've been.
I'm going to look it up. -5 C to F. That's 23 Fahrenheit. You guys are having a hot spell.
That was our high today. I mean, over the last weekend, I think we hit
We were at -6, -10 for a few days in there.
We were -10 real
Fahrenheit.
temp. We were getting into like -20s with wind chill. It was not fun. We usually get that for like a week every year. We're not as bad as the upper Midwest.
Oh yeah.
Not as bad. But Big Street, if you're not used to -5, I can totally understand why that's rough. We're used to getting pooped on all the time in Kansas and Missouri. It's just life here. It's how it works. 'Tis the way. But again, if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. They will go in the order they are received. And if we don't get a bunch, we'll have a short stream. MKH Audio says, is there any benefit to changing my ported subwoofers to sealed mode? I have dual SVS PB3000s. Would they perform better if I switched them to sealed? There's a lot of things
differently.
that.
Yeah, I mean, at its simplest level, by having ported mode, let's say your port tune is at 20 hertz, and we're just going to generically say that, you'll get 6 to 10 dB more output with a large ported box. You'll probably get more like on the 6 side with the smaller ported box like those PBs have. 6 to 10 dB more at port tune and nothing below except for distortion and ill-desired harmonics. Above, say, 15 or 20 hertz from where the port tune is, they'll balance out again and not be very much difference. So like if your port tune is 20, maybe at 40 or 50, that's 20 to 30 hertz above, you're not going to notice much difference between them. So basically you get a little bit of a bump, like a nice bump. 6 to 10 dB is legit bump, but you get a bump around port tune and then you lose what's below it. So play with it. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything to try it. You'll probably want to rerun your auto EQ if you're using auto EQ, if you swap that, because your processor might treat it differently with auto EQ functionality.
Just with those subs, if he only has those 2 ported subs, I don't see any reason to plug them.
Yeah, you'll have a lot more perceivable output with just 2 of the 2 subs if they're ported.
And I think the gain, what you're going to gain from going from a 24 to 12 dB roll off going to sealed is not worth the extra output you're going to get from the port. So that's my feeling. I would leave them ported. Don't plug them. Unless you're having some type of phase weird thing, but I wouldn't see that being an issue anywhere or some room mode being generated. Good question, though. E4 Superfly. Jonathan, you have subs that play down to 5 hertz, but your pro amp specs show down to 20 hertz. So what are the amps doing below 20 hertz? I know it's not hard cutoff, but what is it exactly?
So almost all these amplifiers will roll off below 20 hertz, but how fast they roll off is amp dependent and whether they have processors engaged and DSP and all that stuff. ASR, Audio Science Review, has good objective benchmarks, and more specifically, database and that's base BASS instead of BASE. Database and AVS Forum have reviews where people have hooked these up to like heater coils and measured the amperage and the circuits down to 5 hertz. The iNukes, the Behringers, the NX series do pretty well, better than most amplifiers down to 5 or 10 hertz, 10 hertz specifically. Most of them are starting to roll off pretty good at 5 hertz. The 20 hertz spec is more of just like a generic old school audio spec because that's what most humans are generically classified as hearing, from 20 hertz at bottom end to 20 kilohertz at a top end, with some variation human to human. And as we age, we lose some off the top end. But that doesn't mean it can't do more than that type thing. It will usually play on both sides of that a little bit.
It's like a sealed sub. It's like any sub, right? They're going to roll off. They're going to have an F3 point where they're going to start rolling off. How fast they roll off depends on the type of sub. But that doesn't mean they don't play down lower than that. That's just where they roll off. And you can apply EQ to change that. You can boost those low frequencies. But remember, 5 hertz, guys, I mean, it takes a tremendous amount of power to have something feasible down that low. What is it? For every 6 dB, it requires 4 times the power or something like that, if I remember correctly.
And a lot of drivers, too. Not only just power, but if you really want to be able to feel that, you need a lot of drivers, too.
A lot of drivers, huge motors. I mean, it's tough. So even if your amp can do it, to get it at anything that's feasible takes a huge amount of gusto to be able to make that happen.
And I think this is an interesting little observation on the back end of that same comment.
Mhm.
I don't do an HPF on my stuff, but Sheldon, interestingly enough, Carp on the forums, he has 16 18s and 124 near field, right? And so he has plenty of capability to do whatever he wants at the bottom end. He actually has an HPF installed because he says below about 15 hertz, you can't hear anything. And all it does is make the house groan, which you can hear. So the
That's
really
fair.
low frequencies make the
Yeah.
the framing of the house groan, the drywall batter around, the ceiling make noise, the stair steps upstairs, the kitchen upstairs make noise. All that makes noise that contributes to stuff you can hear for something you can't hear. So he has it tailored off.
Yep.
So put that in consideration if you're going to pursue one of these mega systems. Like, you might not even want it. And then the other piece is he adds it back through tactile transducers. So he has
That's
a
fair.
couple 12s that are open air on each of his chairs. He has the near field subs. That gets you the feel without having to create the SPL that just makes
Yeah.
noise.
Because it does create a tremendous it does need a tremendous amount of mass in order to make that so you're not hearing the room.
Mhm.
I mean, that was a big reason we put so much mass into my room was to try and get around that, and even then, it was the pressure was pushing my door out, so I've had to reseat it a couple times.
Mhm.
It's just you gotta ask yourself, do you wanna do what's necessary to do it correctly, or are you trying to chase for EPEN? Right? Are
Mhm.
you trying to just make it a measuring contest? And that's okay too. You've just got to decide how far do I want to take it and is it worth it? Because depending on how you answer that question, it can get a lot more expensive depending. Good question though. Basic theories. Oh, we already answered that one about the popcorn stuff, the letterbox, which we're going to do. Yeah, Bruce Barnes is calling you out for spoiler city. All right, Tire Man. Everyone needs a letterbox. It is good to keep track of. I forget what I've watched. So that's good. Stitch says, I made Jonathan put his YouTube music playlist as public. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a ton in there. Even more unfortunate, it led to him playing a ton of AI music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot more in there. Like I said, 26 of the 33 songs got deleted or whatever it was. It was like
That's just what he wants us to think.
5/6 of them got deleted.
It was really just Miley Cyrus covers or Hannah Montana covers. I mean, let's be real. Big
No,
Street Cinema says, any info or thoughts on the new Ascendo designed the 8 Pro?
that's you, man.
Have you seen that speaker?
I haven't.
Never mind, Siri. I don't
You
know
gonna
why
pull it
she-
up? Is there
Yeah,
a
we can pull it up.
page on it?
Yeah. Eric on AVS brought it up. He made a post about it. Where did it go? Oh, it's one of the most recent posts on AVS in the speaker section. It's just an interesting speaker. It's different. Let me share. Minimize that. What is this? There you go. So that's the speaker.
Is that a pretty traditional MTM, or is that it's a vertical or horizontal?
It I think can go. It's designed to go above an LED wall, so it's designed to go how it's sitting right now.
So MTM, mid tweeter mid.
Yep, I think. I don't know anything about it. Jeffrey will have it there at ISE.
Oh, okay.
So I will be able to see it. He's saying a maximum SPL rating of 131.
What size drivers are those? It's possible to tell from the picture.
I think
can't
they're
read
eights.
that. Okay, that would make sense from the 8.
Yeah. So 75 to mid bass range from 75 to 250 hertz. Made to go above or below an LED wall. And I think they'll be showcasing them at ISE. So it's made after this guy. It's using the same kind of coaxial compression thing with custom waveguide as that one. I don't remember what that speaker's called. I can't. Something. And then this is the 10 LED wall that he also has. So it's a coaxial 10-inch with ports, and
Port
this is
tune
the
pretty
8.
low.
No, these don't roll off get very low. None of his speakers do.
Pretty big box with big ports for not to go too low.
He
What are they?
doesn't. He lets the speaker in a lot of capacities do what it wants to natively. He doesn't try and artificially reinforce things through the crossover through DSP, because he doesn't like what it does to phase, group delay, and that kind of stuff. Him and I had a discussion over the past couple days about his methodology. So he just lets them roll off. This thing, if you look at the CEA 2034s, it actually rolls off pretty early. So like my 12s, the 12 BE Pros, 12 Pro BEs, I think their crossovers like 100, 110, somewhere in there. It's quite high for what they are. So it's just a discussion about what that speaker is going to be. Nobody really knows yet. I'll hopefully know more about it when I see it at IC. Maybe. Any comments?
None from me. 130 something is a lot of
A lot of output. Yeah. Be interested to see the spinorama on it. I'm
starting
looking at comments. Sega Master System, would you guys recommend a Spider for AutoCal with an NZ500, or does it need it out of the box? I don't like the Spiders. Do you?
I don't have a preference because I don't have a whole lot of knowledge on that particular product.
I think laser wavelengths have gotten too narrow, and I don't think the Spider does a good enough job at being able to read them. I would not waste my time on that. I would leave it out of the box or get it professionally calibrated, is my 2 cents.
I think the NZ500, since I have one, looks fantastic out of the box, really. Sure. And I've seen one over at Sheldon's, of course. Like the DE is really low. They look really nice just right out of the box.
Would you agree that sometimes, especially when it comes to projector calibration, ignorance is bliss? Like you don't know what you don't know. You can think things look good until you put a calibrated image up there and you go, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like. And then it doesn't necessarily still look bad. But if you don't know and you don't give your brain a direct comparative reference, it's tough to know what's right and what's wrong.
I don't think I'm the right guy to ask on that because I tinker and tinker and tinker. And so I don't think I'm the right guy to ask that. I feel like I know when an image is good or bad and if it needs to be calibrated or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the NZ500 is in that category.
No, it's got.
I'm not saying you won't gain anything by doing it, but I'm saying that
it's not a bad image out of the box.
Pretty good out of the box.
It's not a bad image out of the box. That is for sure. Majek says, any thoughts or info on Marant's AV30 Pre-Pro, significantly less in price than the AV10? I mean, if it fits
the bill, channels, that's really the only thing you're going to be losing.
If it does what you need it to do, it provides the options and features that you need. It's got enough channels. Do that instead of the AV10 and take that extra money and put it into subs or treating the room.
If you don't need those channels, man, that SYNAD score on that thing is going to be way above your hearing level, and so it just won't matter. It's a bells and whistles thing in those product lines. Like, do you need the channel counts? Do you need does it have any extra Odyssey flavors or DRX flavors? I don't even know. You'd have to look it up and like just do a side-by-side comparison. Sometimes, and I don't know if Odyssey would do this at this level because the 30 is not a low level, but they do have different levels of Odyssey, for instance. XT32, XT, just EQ.
I think it's XT32.
It's probably XT32 on both of them. Yeah. And Dirac flavor is the same on both of them. If you wanted to upgrade, can they both support the highest package?
I mean, there may be differences in the number of taps and what they're able to do with Dirac and how granular they can get in the auto EQ part with what Dirac is doing, not what you're able to interact with it. But I don't have that answer. I don't know.
That's the kind of stuff you'd be looking for. Is that information. Audibly, just from a no EQ setting to setting, you're not going to tell the difference in those two receivers.
Yeah, I agree. Fat Man, I know Jonathan has mentioned Hover Easy, etc. before. Have either of you actually implemented it? Thoughts versus tactile transducers versus near field. We both have quite a bit of experience with a lot of different tactile. Neither of us like Hover, though.
At least not if it's dialed up to what people usually use. If
Yes.
it's dialed low, I like it okay, but it's too bouncy when it's
You and I prefer direct attach
Uh-huh.
instead of Hover. We think it feels more natural. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. That's just our opinions. So if you had Hover
Easy is the one with the inner tubes.
Hover Easy, yeah. So if you had Hover Easy, tactile transducers, so like your
Butt
base shakers,
kickers,
butt kickers, your Crosons.
earthquake, yes.
If
Aura.
you had direct attach and you had near field, what order would you put them in?
Near field's the best. It's the most natural, in my opinion, of all. I like butt kickers for the violence of it if they're dialed in right, and if they're not dialed in right, don't even put them on. Like they're very distracting. That's time alignment, and that's critical. I also like direct attach. So direct attach are far more forgiving, as is near field, to the precision of time alignment than the shakers are, than the butt kickers are. We've talked about this before on the podcast. I don't want to beat a drum, but I can tell with the butt kickers, and my daughter can too. I mean, we've done this stuff over and over again in my room, like dialing it in. I'll set it to the millisecond, and then she'll set it to the millisecond, and we'll be 100th or 200th of a millisecond off on our settings. Like blind, closing our eyes and pushing the up arrow until you find it, and the down arrow until you find it, like not even know what you're looking at, and then saying this is it, and then comparing our comparisons, and we're 100th or 200th of a millisecond off between two different people when you start like 2 or 3 milliseconds off. So we're talking like 300 different up and down pushes, and you can get to the same 100th or 200th second. That's how precise it can be. And if you're not doing that, it's not going to feel right. And the further you are away from right, the worse it's going to feel.
Yeah.
Near field is not that precise. Near field could have like probably orders of magnitude more than tactile physical shake to not feel wrong. And the same thing with direct attacks. For whatever reason, it's more forgiving. So if you don't have the capability or interest to dial it in like that, then just go near field or direct attached. Now, yes, I've tried Hover. I don't remember what the original one was called. Hover Easy is the one with inner tubes. I tried the one that was like the driver built into a board, and the board sat on some of those Hudson Hi-Fi feet. I built one of those. I tried it. It's still too bouncy for me. It wasn't my preference. I like the chair on the Hudson Hi-Fi feet. So the chair has a little bit of bounce, but I like the drivers doing it. Or if I want it to get violent for an explosion or something, I want the butt kicker with a low pass filter that only allows the lowest stuff to get to it. I want that butt kicker to be violent in there. That's my preference. And like Ryan said, you can go on the tactile thread on AVS forum that's thousands and thousands of posts long and get different opinions from 5
people have religious experiences with this and religious opinions on which one they prefer, if they prefer it.
Yeah.
So what do you have in your room right now? You've got near field. You've got
near field 18s. I've got 2 8-inch direct attach inside of each seat back. So each chair has that 2 8s. And then I have a butt kicker advance on each seat. So there's 3 forms of tactile in each seat. And I love it. It's good.
So I had in my previous room, I had the same. I had near field, direct attach 12s, and then butt kicker advance transducers in each of them. Now I don't have it. Well, I have near field, but I don't have anything else. I don't think I need it in that room. The 64 will eat you if you turn it up too much. But I think in my order of want is near field, direct attach, tactile transducers, Hover. So you and I are flipped on direct attach and transducers. I think I like the direct attach more than I like the transducer, but I like them even more when you put them together because you're able to augment allow the direct attach to take the higher frequencies, build in a crossover, and let the transducer take over the lower ones, which I think is what you and I both
That's exactly
did and
right.
do.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to time it right. Otherwise, it's a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize how much of a disaster it is until they go to somebody's that's got it really dialed in.
It's so distracting when it's not time aligned.
Let's do that question that just came in. Butt kicker advance versus LFE. I don't really think you need any more than the advance. I think, honestly, the advance is probably too much.
I agree with you. It's demo time. You keep talking, and I'm going to go get some exhibits.
Okay. So the advance, if you turn it up enough, it would rip apart the underside of your chair. The LFE would come out of your chair and then attack you if you turned it up too much. And Jonathan, do you have an LFE?
I do. I have one on
still. I think I sold mine. And my butt kicker advance, I've got a few kicking around somewhere. Wait for Jonathan. He's probably grabbing. He's coming back someday.
Come on.
There he is.
Follow me, camera.
He's not it really likes that light post.
All right. Oh. So here, I'm going to put them down and I'll show them one at a time. This is a butt kicker advance. It has a 1 pound slug in it. And if I had the cap, I could take it off and show you. It's like a piece of iron.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cylinder. It's about 1 pound. 2 terminals. This one's 3 ohms. A lot of them are 4 ohms. And that when that gets signal, it just pounds that slug inside. And that 1 pound jostles up and down. If you attach this to your chair, you're going to feel it. And it's plenty. You don't want any more than that. That'll knock you out of your chair. This is called the LFE. And it's a lot bigger, a lot heavier. I think these have... Are these a 4 pound slug? I'd have to look it up.
It's enormous.
It's a lot bigger slug, a lot heavier unit, up to 1,000 watts, power handling. You attach this to like a floor joist or a riser or something that's like serious business, and this will shake the crud out of it. This is too much for a chair. This would make you uncomfortable in a chair.
It may destroy your chair. I think the advance would destroy the chair if it was up all the way.
Yeah.
The LFE, I said, would come out of the chair and attack you if you turn it up too high.
The advance, if this thing's cut loose with like, and it doesn't take very much power. I think I had it up to like 300 watts at one point on a single channel of XLS 402, 202 even. It will bounce off the carpet. So like a carpet's not a hard surface. I have a video on YouTube on my channel where I just played this thing with Bass I Love You, and it literally is bouncing off the carpet. This thing would, like you're saying, it would just destroy. So for size reference, there they are. And this one's a lot heavier just in the hand. This one has these mounting plates like the back here, and you can put that on I like putting this on the chair frame itself, like where you sit, the part of your chair where you're sitting, and then it has the most direct attached vibration. And when you dial it in, it's just really good because it shakes the very part you're sitting on versus putting it on the leg or putting it on the frame or something. None of that's... I've played with this a lot in 2 different chairs and a lot of different places, like really experimented on the actual square frame that your butt sits on, that the seat coils, the springs attached to. That's where you want this. Should we
explain the story of how we got those?
Go ahead.
So Jonathan randomly one day, how many years ago was this? 3 years? 2 years? 3 years?
I bet it was earlier than that.
A number of years ago, calls me and goes, "Hey, I got a proposition for you. You want to buy some butt kickers?" And I didn't know how many or what we were going to do. And it was the Alamo Draft House, right? Alamo Draft House is going out of business, and they're junking everything. They're tearing everything apart. And they're in storage at some, I don't know, some guy's storage unit. It was like in the back of his house, or
he owned that theater decommission company, and they were in his house because he had been part of that takedown.
So we go out there. I don't think we knew how many were available at that point.
He didn't even know.
He didn't.
Right.
And we go out there, and there's probably
a couple hundred of them at least.
And he goes, "Yeah, there were more, but some drunk hobo came up and they were in a wheelbarrow and just walked off with the wheelbarrow.
Went running down the street with the wheelbarrow.
So he said we lost like half of them. There were more of them. So Jonathan and I effectively got 100 of these each,
Yeah,
and they were disgusting.
they were gross.
Absolutely disgusting. If they were anything other than a tactile transducer, they would not have survived.
Yeah,
There were popcorn kernels, fingernails, soda,
gummy
hair,
bears,
gummy bears, all
M&Ms.
kinds of
Yeah,
stuff like
anything you can imagine.
in this. So we had to clean them all up, and then we resold the majority of them, but that's where a lot of these came from.
Yep.
We learned how to re-grease them and do all of this stuff, and because some of them were making terrible noises when we were testing them. And yeah,
Probably when they get soda dropped on them through the chair, it's not the best
that may not
in
be
the
good
world.
for the grease. That may not be good for the grease, but there's nothing in there. There's no boards. There's nothing. It's literally just a circuit.
Yeah,
That's really it.
electromagnet and an iron ferrule slug that throws around.
That's it.
Pretty
Nothing
indestructible.
else. Yep.
Nylon sleeve that the
You
slug
know,
has.
you could probably turn it into your own pseudo home defense railgun if you wanted to. I wonder how far it
Use
would
a
shoot.
20,000 watt amp and shoot it out like a cannon.
Like have a potato cannon, but it's got a slug sitting out the back, and boom, it's just
Yeah.
Oh, we should try that.
Oh
I
man.
wonder if that would work.
Sacrificial butt kicker to see what happens. Go for distance.
I mean, I don't know how much it would if you could find the slug. You're not sacrificing anything. You just have to reload it. Not doing anything. There's no moving parts.
Yeah, that's funny.
So how did your friend Ryan die? Butt kicker killed him.
Houdini used to take cannonballs to the chest, and we're going to take a butt kicker slug to the chest.
Sorry, we're derailing.
Oh man. Oh, look at this. I saw this video, Big Jack. I'm pulling a audible here.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. I'll pull it up again. Matthew Pose says he has not experienced a near field setup that's good. Matthew Pose hasn't been to Kansas City. I'll say that, because there's a lot of people that have near field subs in Kansas City that are quite good. And I mean, I don't know. I watched that video where he said he doesn't recommend near field, and no professional he knows does. We'll just disagree. Like, I've been to a lot of theaters, probably over 100 theaters myself, of home theater enthusiasts, ABS Forum home theater enthusiasts, and I totally disagree with him. That's all. I'm
going to put in there that people have different premise or wants and desires for how intense they want it to be. That goes back to the Youth Man video where Sheldon and him are in that video bouncing up and down on things.
Sure.
There are different wants and desires out of how intense you want the experience. I myself, when I had near field, was on the lower end of things where it was just enough to augment. You didn't necessarily know it was there, but you would question if it was there. So you've got to get it to your subjective taste. Doesn't mean it's for everybody, but it's quite possible that he's just experienced ones that were not for him.
Or not dialed in correctly, like somebody who was an amateur and didn't know what they were doing type thing.
Yeah. And the cool thing, one of the coolest things about Jonathan's is he can change it on the fly, which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
So good question. Bocab, Brian, Bo got a butt kicker amp from you, or a Buckeye amp from you. Dylan told him the listed specs of 250 watt, 8 ohms is peak power and only 90 watts RMS. Other amps list RMS. Isn't this very deceptive? List both numbers.
That ratio seems a little off, perhaps 90 versus 250. Peak is usually sort of typically double in that range. But I don't think
I'm gonna have to talk.
They've been doing this for years and years, right? I mean, that's the RMS and the peak rating has been a known thing.
I'm gonna have to talk to Dylan about that. I did not know that, honestly. So I'll have to talk to him and see. I didn't know that was peak. I'll have to talk to Dylan.
That come into that is how long it can sustain those peaks versus
that is true.
That varies very much amp to amp.
That is true.
There's an old joke that goes on about the old toroidal transformer amps that have like the giant internals that weigh 90 pounds and stuff that you can weld with, they'll
Mhm.
just hold peak power. I mean, they just hold it. Whereas like a Class D that doesn't have a lot of capacitance and stuff will just do a fleeting peak hold. And there's anything in the middle. So like I know Buckeye has really good bench tests. People really like them. Maybe it can hold that peak a little bit longer than some other Class D. So maybe you don't need to worry about it type thing. But
Well, we
um,
should be able to see it on Audio Science Review, shouldn't we?
I
He's
think they
got
do have reviews, and I think it did very well. I think
Let's
Buckeye has traditionally done very well there.
Audio Science Review Buckeye. Doesn't he test peak and RMS?
He does.
I feel
At
like
least
he
the
does.
distortion levels. He tests like at 0.05 and 1% distortion levels usually.
So max power was 247 watts.
Bruce, the difference between being able to hold it and hold it for various periods of time, like RMS would be more like you can hold it indefinitely type thing.
I think what he's giving you is it might be that it's 250 watts at 4 ohms. Because max sustained power at 4 ohms is 250 watts. Max sustained power at 8 ohms is 120.
Where's the 90 from?
That could be what it's rated for, and it was just that it delivered more than that. I'm looking at the Audio Science Review test for a NC252MP.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he tested. I'll have to talk to Dylan about it and see, because I think it's important that people know what it's actually delivering, regardless of what the spec says. But look at Audio Science Review, because Amir does do bench testing for power versus distortion. And I think this is sustained power, not peak. It's RMS. It's a good question, though. I'm sorry that happened. Bing dong. Do most non-DSP Pro amps have a 20 hertz cut? Most amps do.
Yeah, to varying degrees, and it's almost like reverse of what you're saying, because Crown and QSC and ones with DSP are specifically stated by the manufacturers to have a high pass filter at 20 hertz. It's non-defeatable. So it's almost like the reverse of what you're saying, that most DSP Pro amps have a 20 hertz cutoff, and you're kind of lucky if it doesn't. Like the Behringer doesn't as much as like Crown or QSC.
Finster says, so how do I know if I have phase issues? I use REW and have time aligned my subs and added some EQ. Graph looks good and I think it sounds good, but what do phase issues look or sound like?
I can answer this one.
Go ahead.
So, well, I think we've talked about this several times over the years, but here we go again. If you use Audio EQ to set your single sub and your mains together, so at least you have a good starting place, and you want to add a second sub, you can use mini DSP, you can use whatever DSP functionality you have, even just the receiver. You plug your second sub in the room, you take your measurement off the left and right and the original sub, they're set a distance, and if you don't have a way to do a second sub automatically with distance, you're going to manually set it. So what you're going to do is adjust the distance up or down, and that's going to change the way the sub frequency response capture looks. It's going to raise it, it's going to lower it. When you sum the two subs together and their graph is at the highest point it can be, like you go up an inch and it goes down, and you go down an inch and it goes down, but here's the highest, then you've got the phase correct. You can do it with the dial on the back of the subwoofer. You can do it with the DSP. There's different ways to change the phase, but ultimately what you're doing is trying to get them to time align to your listening position. And then when you do, your frequency response will be the highest, generally speaking, overall. Like if you do a low smoothing, say you put it on like a 1/6 smoothing with your REW or your Omni mic, you can see it easier, and you're just looking for the highest summed sub output. And it really is pretty accurate. So like I've told this story before, it's absolutely true. I wanted to see how Odyssey compared to what I would manually calibrate. So I erased all the Odyssey settings and I manually set my sub phase for each of my rows. I have 3 rows of subs, my front row, my middle row, and my back row of subs. And I did it all manually, and I wrote down the measurements, and then I ran Odyssey just to see how they compared. And I kid you not, they were within a tenth of an inch, like it does 1-2 tenths of an inch with Odyssey, and they were like the exact same. So it's perfectly effective to do it in that very simple way. It comes up with the same thing the auto EQ stuff does if you just have the patience to run through it. Now, Tim, last night, maybe you've run into this, Ryan. I don't know if you've read this or anything. I've done this in multiple houses. We did it on the crawl. I've done it in my room many times. I've done it at different people in Kansas City's houses. I've done it on other crawls in other states where I can adjust phase or make sure there's not a phase issue. This is the same routine I just described. When we were at Tim's last night with his AV, his Denon A10H or whatever, the second from the top flagship, he has the Dirac full package, but we were on the Odyssey side.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing the same thing, we could adjust his distances till the cows came home and nothing happened on anything. Like his distances were like stuck. It was bugged out. It was something. Nothing was changing on my graphs in real-time measurements. We would change it from 5 foot to 0 foot to 20 foot to 25 foot, like change the subs, and nothing was changing. I've never seen that before, and I have no explanation for that. Like I've done this a lot of times. It's the first time I've seen that. So we just gave up because it wasn't working, and we just ran Odyssey again and let Odyssey set the distances. And it came up with numbers that made sense and probably, in my experience, are pretty accurate, but something was bugged out and nothing was changing when we were manually setting it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you there. I've never seen that.
I hadn't either.
Just going through stuff. I've spent 2 weeks painfully ripping my favorite TV shows for Plex. How is it that I still hear people say that it's the same thing as Kscape when I can download movies to 10 minutes on a Kscape? It's different strokes for different folks. Once it's done, it's kind of the same thing in a way. What I tell people is don't listen to the marketing. You're paying for time and you're paying for convenience. That's what it is. You don't have to spend the time facilitating and maintaining your own library. You can buy it and then be done. Downloads in 10 minutes. You don't want it, saves to the cloud, you re-download it. You're paying for time and you're paying for convenience. And if something happens, drive fails, your stuff just isn't gone unless you've built a RAID array or something. So it's up. That's how you need to look at it. Their use case is the same. Operationally, they're different. You got anything else to add there?
No, you covered it well.
Okay. John 8910, when are you going to put 20 or more of those JBL subs in a room? That's Brian Fellers. Do you have a picture of his room?
I might be able to find one. I would have it on my phone probably, if nothing else. Let's see.
I don't know if he ever texts me one.
He has 80 some of those JBLs in his room, and he's making a wall out of them for what we're trying to show you. He's making a baffle wall out of them. Like literally, that will be his front wall, is just a ton of those subs. I got a new phone since he messaged me. I guess I don't have it on my phone anymore.
I'm looking for... Oh, I got it.
Can you hold up your camera? Will it show?
I'm just going to share the screen. Does it see it?
I've been encouraging him to make a room thread. It sure would be nice. Oh, I do have it on my phone. I found it here. This is not going to be great, but at least it'll be something. See if I can get the glare off of it. That's his front wall.
Yeah.
So he has the same speakers as I do. Those are those vertical JBL line arrays, and he has them stacked with a base module. So his are taller than mine. Those are 28 inches tall a piece, so 54 inches tall for reference on the JBL speakers. And then 80 some, I don't know if I can get that better or not. 80 some of those JBL 12-inch drivers.
There you go.
Yes, very good.
Good times. Until one of them's wired wrong.
Yeah, that'll be something else. I'm really looking forward to experiencing that room. It's a work in progress.
Me too. It's been a work in progress for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah,
cool when
since
it's done, though.
2023 or something, right? It's kind of on the slow train, but it's making progress.
Jay Sill says he had Chad B calibrate his NZ500, and the PQ is great. Chad does a great job.
I feel like JCell36 is someone that we know from our AVS forum here in Kansas City, but I can't think of his real name.
I can't either. Boondoggle calibrating can also lower lumens, at least for my LS12000. The mode closest to accurate was Cinema High, which is less lumens than dynamic. Yes. A lot of times modes like dynamic are all colors or all lasers full, and they usually push heavy to one color. And dynamic is typically where, Jonathan, correct me if I'm wrong, the maximum light output spec for a projector comes from.
Yeah, or vivid, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
But in the case of this LS12000, there's a little bit of a unique use case. And you may or may not know this, Boondoggle. I don't know your history or your familiarity. Dynamic mode on the Epson LS12000 and the QB1000 is actually a more aggressive laser dimming and a much higher dynamic contrast ratio. So if you could, you may already know this, and maybe I'm speaking out of turn since you already know this potentially. If you put it in dynamic mode and you tame the colors, which there's guides on AVS forum, and I have a video on my channel, you can look for it too, which I talk through all the settings. If you tame the colors in dynamic picture mode, you will have a lot better image out of dynamic mode because your laser dimming is so much better and your dynamic contrast is so much better, and it's a lot better projector in that way. So don't just settle for cinema because it's closer out of the box. Like, play with dynamic mode and make that look better, and then you get the advantages of the dynamic laser dimming. I'll see if I can grab the link for that video so you can give it a watch. If you're not familiar, you may already be familiar. But it's also the only way you can get full cut to black. So on the LS12000 and the QB1000, they won't do a full laser cut, like where it goes completely jet black and the laser turns off, except for in dynamic mode. So that's also, I like that mode. I mean, you can make up your mind on that, but I like it.
Well said. MKH Audio, how much does the screen impact projector performance? What is the best type of screen for a UST projector? A UST screen. USTs typically need special screens because how the light hits them, it needs to be reflected back in a certain way. So it's beneficial in a lot of situations to get an ultra short throw projector screen. Am I saying that right, Jonathan? I think I am. I don't use ultra short throws. I don't much care for them. That doesn't mean that they're bad in all use cases. I just feel like a standard throw projector is going to be better in most applications.
Honestly, didn't even hear your response, so you'll have to. I'll let
I didn't want you to be part of this anyway.
Well, so I was just looking up that video and
see, you were looking at funny YouTube videos and AI music. I get it. You. This is what he does to me, guys.
Who was that last commenter so I can call him out on putting my thing in there for him to watch?
Boondoggle.
Thank you.
Yep. Does a projector screen impact performance? I'm going to talk to this in relation to standard throw projectors. A projector screen should be used as a tool to fix shortcomings of a room. If you got an ambient light problem, ambient light projecting screen. If you've got a high lumen capable projector, low gain screens, right? You could potentially even go with a gray screen or something like that to increase perceived contrast. You're not increasing contrast in a lot of cases. You're changing the perception. You're skewing. We are moving things. So you are increasing the perceived level at which you view blacks, but you are skewing in a lot of capacities where your white point is. So it's always a compromise. There is no free lunch. If you've got a low brightness capable projector, low lumen, low light output projector, positive gain screens like a Stewart ST130. If you need AT and you're really after audio quality, probably do something like a Woven, a Stewart Harmony G3, or a Seymour Center Stage XD, or a Seymour Screen Excellence Neo. You don't want to look at screens in a vacuum, just like any other equipment. You want to use them as tools to overcome shortcomings or to get to a certain objective. Now, USTs get a little, ultra short throws get a little more tricky because there's not as many. options that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's some out there. But again, you just want to use what can be used as a tool to fix any shortcomings in your room. As Ryan says with the gray screens, it's a contrast not just gray screens. Contrast preservation system, not a contrast increasing system. Yeah. Where was that comment? Good question, though. Stephen McGully says, I had butt kickers in my last theater. I didn't find them very valuable and don't have them in my current theater. I don't have them in my theater either. Jonathan's not with us anymore.
I heard you. I disagree, and that's fine. I mean, everyone has their preferences.
Oh, so you heard it when it was about butt kickers, but you didn't hear it when it was about screens, just because you care about. I get it.
I have like half a processor, and when it's pegged out, there's not much else that's happening except for that one focus.
Is this what Megan tells you? My wife always gets that. She's like, "Are you even listening to me?" I'm sorry. My brain. She'll start talking while I'm doing something else.
Yes,
and I can't switch. Like I'm on this task, and it doesn't. I'm like a dog, squirrel, and then I'm on that. That's my thing, and there's no calling me back. That's where I'm going.
I have a funny story about that very thing today. My wife comes down. She's being very patient. I'm on a work mission. I look over there. And I say, all right, I can listen to you for a second. I'm working on something, but I'll listen to you now. So she's very patiently standing there. She starts relaying her story. My work computer starts like dinging with people sending me messages, and I'm not even trying. I'm trying to pay attention to my wife, but like my brain gravitates toward the work thing and starts reading the messages, and then she finishes talking, and I was like, I know I told you that you could talk to me, but I lost attention when it started beeping, and I don't know what you said. Can you repeat it? And I was like, this stupid brain of mine.
And she's probably thinking, why did I even settle for this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So anyway, on the butt kicker question, just like we talked about, you have to do maintenance on them on these old ones that we have anyway. And one of mine stopped working because it needed to be lubricated again. Fine, no big deal. I have to do that a couple times, maybe once every year or two. I've had to do it. So immediately when we're watching a movie, I just notice it's not on because like a death of an explosion or something doesn't have that visceral tactile feel. I mean, it's not like oh, it was off for a week and I didn't know. The very first movie it doesn't work, I know it's not on because I really enjoy it and its integration is good. Again, if the integration is off, it's crap. Don't even like bother with it. It's not fun to
Don't watch movies with Jonathan because he'll go, something's not right. Do you want to see this on the other projector? Should we try this on a disc instead of streaming? Should we do this? Should we watch this on our cell phones using AirPods instead of watching it in the home theater? Let's try a different experience.
I tinker, and I think I probably have some sort of OCD as far as the level of what I want and expect.
I just like giving him crap.
It's a little bit of OCD with my pea brain.
My brain isn't even competent enough to have OCD, so Final Boss Rises. Is it okay to put sealed subs up against a wall? I have a 10-foot by 14-foot with vaulted ceilings for a bedroom. Space is tight. In front stage, was thinking per listen R10 and R8s would get second sub later.
Sure.
Yeah. You actually, the closer you can get subs to a wall, especially corners, you can augment their output by corner loading them. And this goes for really any speaker, but corner loading a speaker makes it less manageable. So you're better off putting a sub in there. You have to deal with reflections and time issues and phase issues and stuff when you do it to speakers. You kind of do to subs, but you're getting an augment. You can gain a benefit by doing that. You know of any negatives in doing that?
No, not really.
I guess you could theoretically exacerbate a room mode.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to go down that path, and that's a whole nother conversation, mid wall is probably better than corner loaded. Corner loaded will get you more output, but can make modes and.
Granted, this is also dependent on where you're sitting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's no inherent deficiency to have it like against a wall versus 3 feet out or 2 feet out. In fact, it's probably better in most cases. Whereas like with speakers, you'll have the golden ear audio file saying like it needs to be a golden triangle and have it 3 feet out from the wall and all that kind of stuff. That's not true with subs.
Nope. I'm going to throw this up there just in case you need something. Final boss. Scan that code. If you do decide to go down the Perlisson rabbit hole, I can help you out. Even if it's just making sure that that makes sense for your use case. I will happily tell you, don't do that if it doesn't make sense. Put your money somewhere else or don't spend the money there. But Perlisson makes great stuff. Their R series has been good because it comes in at a lower price point than their historic other stuff. But good question. Genesis says the LFE is meant to have enough energy to shake a row of 4 to 8 seats. Well, here in Kansas City, we direct attach them to 1 seat.
The advance we do. I don't know anyone that does LFE direct to seat, but maybe there are. I mean,
I did.
On the tactile thread, they do. You did?
Yeah. I mean, I had one. Why not? My couch is no longer has a lower frame. Nah, you just turn it down. It's not that bad.
So Randy Bessinger had 2 LFEs, and he literally had the 2 attached to the joist in his crawl space, and the 2 of them shook his whole theater room. That was my initial introduction to butt kickers.
If you're going to cause destruction to your room, that's probably how it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. We were all, I mean, that was in the 2015 crawl that we all got exposure to that butt kicker in the joist. And it was a floating floor because it's a, an add-on to the house, and it had a crawl space underneath it, so floating wood joist. But those 2 butt kickers attached to the joist underneath in the air, like just out in the outside air, that room would get hopping because they were kind of in the middle.
Literally.
Of that room.
I bolted one to my 1,400-pound motion simulator, and it would make it hop across the room a little bit when doing rally sim racing. I had it running at about 1/3 the rated power. Yeah.
They're serious, man.
They are no joke. Paltravision says, have you tried floating your chairs or risers to increase tactile? Yes. We put the rubber feet underneath them to kind of float them and decouple them. And it does help. I don't like the word help. It changes the feeling. I don't like the feeling of a floating floor. It feels unnatural to me, but Jonathan likes it. So to each their own. Jonathan's just wrong.
Tim made a short riser in his room just so he could get that floating floor. That was something we experienced last night. It doesn't take much height to do it. I think even Matt Pose was talking about that on the same podcast. He was downing Nearfield, saying like you only need like a 2-inch lift.
Don't need a lot.
Floating floor effect on concrete slab otherwise.
Do not need a lot.
Tim, you can dial them down. Tim says, well, are you sure I want those on my riser? Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But just you control them with the volume.
Turn them down. Yeah. Basic theory, I want to try them, but I can't find a good mounting place on my Valencia seats. Adding amps and running wire doesn't sound fun. I don't know. Every time I get curious, I talk myself out of it. The butt kickers. I think you can ask Valencia. I'm pretty sure they used to butt kicker mounting plates that you can get from them. I'm pretty sure you can get those from them.
Weren't they for their own in-house version instead of butt kickers or not? Did they have a butt kicker flavor?
I feel like they did. It's worth contacting them. Basic Theory. I'm pretty sure they had something.
I will tell you this, Basic Theory, for sure. I mean, I can say this out of a shadow of a doubt. If you're willing to cut into your chair, because I've tried these. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've tried these. I've tried these year after year, several different years. I've tried different flavors. I've tried different mounting positions. When I first got these chairs, I set them up on concrete blocks, and I tried 10 different mounting spots. Nothing compares, like I said earlier, nothing compares to the square frame that you're actually sitting on where the springs come from. If you can shake that square frame directly, like direct attach that square frame, it usually is made out of wood. You can screw the butt kicker into the wood. That's where you're going to get the most natural, non-resonant, secondary type feel. The problem is if you put it underneath on a plate, or if you put it underneath the foot, or you put it somewhere else, what I experience is you don't get a direct linear feel from the butt kicker because you're actually relying on secondary joints and mechanics and resonances and all that stuff. So for instance, I wanted to have it under the chair. I didn't want to tear up my chair and put it on the back. I made different plates. I tried different positions under the chair. I tried all the way to the left, tried center. I tried underneath the footrest. I tried all these different things. But the problem is it's attached there, but that's attached through like metal joints that do recliner operations and all this kind of stuff. And you're never at the source where your actually body is touching it. It's like 2 levels in or 3 levels in, and only certain frequencies pass strong and others
Like third
don't.
degree of butt kicker. Yeah.
So it's not a linear feel like with the bass response, linear feel. Whereas if you have it direct attached to that seat, there's nothing in the way. You're going to get the feel that's natural, and that's the answer. I mean, there's no if, and, or buts. That's the answer. Tear up your chair, do it right.
Yeah, ruin your furniture to do it correctly.
That's it.
Yeah,
do it right.
Yeah, we're not kidding either. My couch has no bottom. It's all gone because I've been in the bottom. Jonathan's chairs are probably the same way. Couches come in the room, immediately get torn apart. That's just they're only new before they enter the room, and then there's no returning them after that.
I mean, the reality is the value of your furniture has gone down so much by the time you've used it that I mean, I get it. I had the same concern. Like, I don't want to tear these up, but
where's it going to go after that?
It's for you, and that's what they're for.
Yeah.
Tear them
Matt
up.
Post is notorious for not liking bass. A lot of people in the pro space don't like bass, and I think they don't like. I don't know Matt's real feeling of this. This is just Bing Dong's opinion. But I think a lot of professional integrators, dealers, and custom integrators don't like bass because in a lot of applications, it's really hard to deal with. And if you put it in a room and it doesn't work well, it ends up leaving a negative feeling. So I don't know how Matt feels about it. I like bass. The people that I've surrounded myself with, the companies and stuff that I've surrounded myself with love bass. I mean, it's all about turning it up. When we were demoing the Mad VR Experience Center, it was this constantly when we were doing the low frequencies. Everybody wants to see what we can do, and it's fun. So I can't speak to that. But interesting take.
I'll start a few more here because
I'm just reading ones that haven't.
We have a super chat, by the way, from Big Street Cinema.
Start. Go ahead.
Start, and I'll show it because it's time. Thank you, by the way.
Do you want me to read it?
Thanks for the email support, Ryan. Really appreciate it. There you go.
Yeah, boy. Sometimes Jonathan struggles. I struggle all the time. It's just sometimes Jonathan does. Nick Adafin, how in the world do you guys time align a baffle wall like that? Does it behave like one giant single sub?
It behaves really nicely, actually. Read the Harman white papers on subwoofer placement. They say in that white paper, and they did a lot of modeling, that basically if you surrounded yourself in a cube of subwoofers with like one signal output, it would have the same native response as a single subwoofer. So even though the time alignment isn't going to be like precision, the frequency waves are so big that it's not as important as it would be for like a really high frequency where you wanted like a dynamic cymbal crash or something, because the frequencies are big. The bass is like a more of a larger wave, so you have more leniency, more grace in that alignment. It will be wonderful. It will be wonderful.
It will. I have something kind of not like to that level. I have 621s in the front, but not like that.
Yeah.
I wonder what the surface area of that is.
I don't know if we should do it again, but have you seen like that what's the name of it? That wall of 4015s in a semi-trailer. They filled up the side of a semi-trailer. Yeah. Trifecta, extorta, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. That thing can move beer cans on the ground and do hair tricks outside in the crowd 20, 30 feet away, because it's a wall of subwoofers moving the air outside, like on a concrete pavement road or in a dirt grass area, like where they do these demos.
How many subs does he have in there? 80?
He has 80 something 12s. And that video that's all over YouTube from 10 or 15 years ago, those were 4015s. So we're talking in the same ballpark. He's going to have that in his house. It's going to be wild.
So that, how much? Okay, so he has the area of driver he has is 9,040 inches. square inches. So if I did,
and those drivers will move up and down, even though they're just 12, they'll move them down peak to peak like this far. So imagine an entire front wall of the driver moving this far at like a low frequency. If he supplies enough power, the hair trick territory is like in the rearview mirror. It's going to be incredible. And the funny part of all this is he has neighbors that hate his bass now, and he I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know where that's going to go.
Hold on. I'm trying to calculate what mine would be. I know. 8.
And there's something to be said about also having the same, like a plane of subs, like all in one plane, versus having them kind of spread throughout the room, like I do, where it's not going to all hit you at the same time. The wave's not going to hit you all at the same time.
3217.
While you're doing that calculation,
he's got more than me. Mine is 8,000 square inches. He's got 1,000 more square inches than I do.
With your 50 included, or just the 21?
With the 64 included. The 64 by itself is 3,220 square inches.
Yeah.
But he has over 9,000. Isn't there a meme about that? Isn't that a Dragon Ball thing? It's over 9,000.
I never saw it.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm too big of a
Ryan asked this question, and you and I might differ on this, and that's fine. Far field sub versus near field. What if you can only have one? You can't have one. That's my answer. That's not what he asked, but that's my answer. Because if you have only near field, the sound feels like it originates from behind you, and I don't like that. But if you have far field and near field, you get all the feel from the near field.
If you have subs behind you.
Your 50 is behind you. If you only had the 50, it would be behind you.
I wouldn't want near field.
So far field is probably, if you're going to be stringent, far field's the answer, but I don't want just far field. I want both. And I don't
just. What do you ask, Jonathan?
Even though I like near field better, far field is a requirement.
I cannot imagine Megan trying to argue with you. She's going to be like, that's not even what I asked, Jonathan. You're off on some tangent. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that again? I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
That's true.
Far field is, if I had to only have one, and I think you would agree,
far field reason.
We would both prefer both because we both have both. Mm-hmm. But far field, if you could only have one. Near field, you're going to be able to localize it, and it's going to be too distracting.
I hate that answer.
But it's the right answer.
The answer. Curse it.
Sorry, it's the right answer. Where is my selection thing?
Ryan's trying to reel us in. No, you can't do both.
No, he knew you were going that way. Jonathan, do you have an NZ500 setting somewhere you like?
I put that in the chat already. So real simple. I mean, like I said, the NZ500 looks fantastic out of the box. Epson does not do a good job with out-of-the-box settings. Tell Rob that. But they can look really good if you spend the time to set them up. JVC looks really good out of the box. So I would do auto normal. I would do dynamic control high. I would do laser level 93% because it's quieter than 100% laser. And I would turn the color saturation up 3 or 4. That's kind of where my head's at on it. And the rest of that, it looks really good out of the box. Like the sharpness settings looks really good out of the box. The HDR settings look really good out of the box. Some people like auto wide. I personally like auto normal. Auto normal.
A lot of people switch back and forth. I won't do that. My wife would refuse to watch movies with me anymore. MKH Audio, what does gain mean in a PJ screen? So gain is, you can think of it really simply, and this is probably not the scientific answer. Chris Seymour is going to join us in a couple weeks on the AVS Forums podcast to talk about the actual objectivity behind screens, like how they function. So how light reflects, what it's actually doing at a granular level to cause things to happen. That just reminded me of this. So that'll be an interesting conversation with Chris. And Chris is the owner of Seymour, Chris Seymour. What does gain do? So gain is the amount of light that is reflected when light hits its surface. So if you have a 1.3 gain screen, 130% of the light is being reflected back. Do not ask me how that works because I don't know.
I think it's not like you're not making 30% up. You're compared to some sort of baseline standard that they've rated as 1.
I don't know how it works. I'm going to learn this when we talk to Chris, but that's the easiest way that I've come to think about it.
It's supposed to be 30% brighter, but not to
Yes.
a base of 1-to-1. The base is less than 1.
Yeah. So
like what they call a 1.0 screen, you're obviously not getting back the
all
same
of it.
amount of light you spit out to it.
But it's 130% more than, or 30% more than what you would get originally. Not 130%, because that would be.
And even that, I'll be interested in watching that stream because Tim and I were playing that last night. I brought over my little cheap light meter, and he had some Stewart samples, a 100, a 130, and then he had some other samples. And we were just the light in the kitchen, we didn't do anything fancy. I took my light meter and I aimed it down at the samples. So the light from this overhead light was hitting the samples, and I'm holding it here. And we switched it between 100 and 130, and it was barely any brighter. The 130 is barely any brighter. Now, the way I can reconcile that in my mind somewhat is that I think that there's basically a layer of reflectivity that affects light from a certain angle.
Yes,
somewhat.
That is true.
And the ceiling light may not have been at the right angle to impact that. But I was fully expecting to see something like 20 or 30% brighter with the meter, and it was not showing that. It was
so it is measured. I have shot it with spectros at shows, and it is true. Like, it is almost spot on. But I think it's the angle, and you're getting a lot of light pollution when you're doing it that way with the light meter instead of using something like a spectro that's actually reading it. But like if you had a 0.7 gain screen, you're losing 30%
brightness.
So I'm really interested in this conversation. I'm also trying to get like Stewart's chemists to come on to talk about how they do stuff, because they manufacture all of their own screens. So it's a part that I don't think ever gets talked about. The screens never really get talked about. So I'm really interested to hear what everybody has.
He's not going to give you the chemical format.
Yeah, they're going to give me the formulas. It's like getting the formula to Coke. That's what's going to happen. Macroproxy, are you an AWOL dealer? Not yet. I can be, though.
Did you watch that video today, by the way?
No.
That came out about the AWOL smart home studio, or what is smart home hookup. He had a AWOL installed in his living room, like a 158-inch, 138, something like that screen. I watched it. I already forgot the size, but it's a big one.
Dang.
800 nits, so not quite as bright as a modern TV, but plenty bright. 0.9 pixel inch.
Pixel pitch.
Yep. And like all the fixings. I mean, it looks nice. Looks really good from the video.
Yeah. I'll have to see if they're at ISE. I'm pretty particular when it comes to those. They can be quite misleading.
They cost $60,000.
They're really important to see in person. But Macro, send me a message, because I can open that door.
57-inch, according to Ryan.
Have a conversation with AWOL if that's something you're interested in. I was on that QL did discussion on ABS. That was a fun one. Not really. Your QL.
Oh, I thought you were talking about another live stream. I was like, you guys did a live stream on my QL issue?
Yeah, we were just bashing you and how dumb you were. No.
That was a confusing one.
That was a confusing one. It was nice that Rob was responding about it and was concerned.
Yeah.
That's big for Epson. So I got involved. I sent a message to Epson, Rob Brennan, who is I think he's a regional for them.
He does a lot of their promotional video content.
Marketing and stuff. Yep. And he responded. Like, I don't know what that is, but I'll buy the content that he's using. I'll test it. He should try this. If something up, we'll RMA it. We'll do this. But he is not customer support, and he was trying to assist. So that speaks volumes for the type of company that Epson North America is.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
For those who don't know, and just brief, something bugged out on the EDIT on the QL3000, and 4K discs from 3 different sources were only playing in SDR, and so it looked washed out and color muted. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I was power cycling, I was changing cables, I was plugging in like anything I could think. I was trying different movies. It just wouldn't. It was like it was stuck. in 4K SDR, even though it was getting a 4K HDR container and the color space wasn't matching, so it was doing bad things. Ultimately, I think what fixed it was either one of two things, because I did two things at once. I plugged a Fire Stick in directly that had not been on that projector before, plugged it into the HDMI port, and I reset the EDID settings from 80 gigabit per
40 to 18.
40 gigabit a second to 18 is what it was. I reset those at the same time, and then that knocked it out of its funk, and it started working again with all my sources. So I mean, this was, of course, over a couple of days. I couldn't figure it out. That fixed it. Another gentleman on the forum said that he had that problem 2 times already, and just a power recycle. Like I had turned it on and off with the remote,
that issue,
but I hadn't pulled the power, and he said that might have fixed it too.
I think it was the EDID that got cached. So I think you may be changing something clear to cache.
I mean, I had changed the cable from 3 different sources, like change the cable, change the sources, but those all 3 had been on there before, and so it recognized them. Maybe throwing the Fire Stick in there it hadn't seen before woke it up, or maybe it was the EDID change.
So you're not changing the EDID advertisement. You actually changing the EDID setting in the projector changes what EDID is being advertised. So I think my guess is something corrupted, and it was sending a malformed table, and it didn't like something, and then you redoing it, reset it. Guessing. But I'm glad it works now.
Yeah, it works fine.
That is good.
Yep. It was mysterious.
Watch Jonathan's video on near field subs. Makes a lot of sense. I've been using 2 PSA TV 2112 vented subs. Should I think about swapping them out for Ultimax 18 sealeds? Yes.
TV 2112.
They're ported. That's all you need to know for near field.
Is it a couple 12 stacked, basically? No, it's not. The TV 2112 is a large driver and a slot ported box.
Yes, with probably a 12-inch port. I would say you want 18s.
Is he? I mean, 21's fine as far as that goes, but is he using them for near field?
Yes,
do we have that information?
That's my issue. Is you do not want to use a ported near field.
Oh yeah, if he's using them for near field, I'm not. I agree. You want to have sealed subs for that,
because at a certain frequency, you're going to start moving energy from the driver to the port. It's not going to happen all at once.
Yeah.
And when it does, all of the energy for your neofield is going to be gone.
It's going to be coming out the slot, which is underneath your chair at that particular.
Your feet will have a great near field experience.
It's not linear feeling.
You will not.
Yeah.
And it's not linear. It'll transition. Well, I mean, it is, but it'll transition.
It's linear for sound reproduction, but not for feel reproduction.
No.
Because you go from the driver making the acoustic energy to the port making the acoustic energy. Robert Brennan is a mountain of a dude. When I met him at the shootout, he made me feel small at 6'2".
He's about our size, Jonathan.
I was going to say, like,
he's a big guy.
Boys, that's like par for the course around here.
Yeah. He fits in well with us. He's a big guy. Your thoughts on Accu EQ compared to Dirac?
Accu EQ is inferior, is it not? Dolby Accu EQ?
I've never used it.
I've used it once.
Dirac's really capable.
Yeah.
The cool thing about Dirac is what it does in time. And that is something that happens behind the scenes. Everybody focuses on frequency, like the frequency domain, what you're seeing from a CEA 2034. They don't focus on a lot of what you're seeing in phase and how it's aligning things in the background, because that's difficult to see. And Dirac really doesn't do a good job of showing you that, of what it's doing. So Dirac does a great job with that. And I think it does a lot better than a lot of other auto EQ systems. I don't know really anything about auto Accu EQ, so I can't speak to which one I like more because I've never used it. Jonathan says it sucks.
I've used it once, and it was on a low-end Onkyo, I think, at the time, and it only did this. It didn't even do the subs. It only did the left and right, as I recall. It was an early form of Accu EQ, maybe the first time they issued it, and it was really basic in implementation. Did fine for what it was, but it wasn't an advanced system at the time.
Margaret Wood. Hey guys, what do you use to detach the frame from the floor? I got concrete foundation build going on. Side note, check out the Acme game. Think y'all would enjoy it. It's a Japanese TV show. I'll have to look at that.
I've never heard of that one. Acme Game.
So we used. You want to post the link? You've probably got it somewhere with those little rubber pucks.
Web search Hudson Hi-Fi, HUDSON Hi-Fi, HIFI, and then they're rubber feet, and they come in different sizes. And we got the 2.5-inch ones that are like a half dome. They're really squishy, and I've brought them on the video podcast so many times. But they're like a half dome, and they're super squishy. Like think about a soft gummy bear. And they have adhesive, 3M adhesive on one side. You can stick them on something and use them as spacer.
You know, the funny thing is you always describe them that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like a gummy bear every time.
Because there's a durometer chart and they're right there with gummy bears.
Yeah, but it's amazing how consistent you are. Every time, gummy bears. Every time.
It's because I've looked at that durometer chart and the picture of the gummy bear is right there at the same level as that.
So now when he sees these Hi-Fis, he's picturing a gummy bear. That's fair. I'm gonna come over to Jonathan's house one day, and he's just gonna have bags of gummy bears underneath.
Show and tell time again. How many times have I showed these on this stream? It's got to be like a half dozen.
No, not that many. He just has everything more accessible than I do. Mine are all being used. We've got a lot underneath the projector sitting on top of the 64. And it doesn't really vibrate at all anymore, which is great. Ryan, you're late, but you made it. Welcome. We've been cruising. Hour and 40 minutes so far. Lots of questions tonight.
Gotta get the
camera. Been a lot of fun.
Come on, camera.
Doesn't like you.
The little munchkin that runs that camera doesn't listen very well sometimes. Okay, so this is a Hudson Hi-Fi foot. The adhesive's gone on this one, but it's just super squishy. See how I can squish it?
It's a gummy bear.
It's a gummy bear.
It's actually what gummy bears are made of.
And they're only supposed to support, like, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's basically bent in half, like folded over in half right now. They come in a pack like this. And I think they're just a few dollars each. They're not very expensive. Maybe it's $20 for a pack of 4.
Not even.
Maybe an 8, something like that. Excellent. Like you could put those things, space them out on your riser, and it gives you a nice bounce because they're real soft and they're super durable. I mean, these were underneath my chair. They still look perfectly new. These were underneath my chair for 8 years or something, and they're still as soft as the day they were born. Versus something like this, which is the more typical foot that people recommend, and even some of them that come with butt kickers, they're like a hard rubber, and they seem to get harder with time. Like this thing, that would break a tooth or something. It's not soft at all. Avoid this style and get the Hudson Hi-Fi feet. And these are actually made like for a totally different purpose, but they work really good for what we're talking about, chair feet. They're made to isolate record players or hi-fi equipment from the ground, so you don't put vibrations into your record player. You know,
or
like acoustic energy
feet, which is what I use them for.
Yep.
Not that bright. I should have that name. If you put a near field sub for every seat like Jonathan's theater, is there any point of having additional far field subs? Yes. You will localize it. If you feel everything coming from behind you, and you will, because it's that close, you'll be able to localize the energy coming from the driver. It's immersion breaking.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's great. It is a great add-on. It is not a great main.
Yeah.
So use it in addition, not in lieu of.
And so like on one of the stops we did in the Iowa home theater crawl, just this recent one, he had one sub up front and one sub that he would call near field, but it was off to the side instead of directly behind. And the localization from it being coming from your right side when you're sitting on the couch was so strong. It was like, this can't you, this not.
That's the danger of having fewer subs and one being close. You're going to be able to find it.
I mean, he had it firing right into the side of the couch, and you knew from every position where it was
really have many other options, so I can't blame him, but you could feel it. You could find it.
They pretty much have to be, they're so directional when that cone's firing into your back. They pretty much have to be directly behind your seating position, not even splitting a position. Like they need to be firing into the back of someone's seat. If it's cut you in half, like say the sub is right here and it's only on the right side of my body, you're going to feel that it's only on the right side of your body. So you need it to be like directly behind you for near field. That's my experience and opinion.
Margaret says, I'm thinking of getting 4 Tone Winner D4000s, but so many people talking me out of them because they are ported. Does port really matter? I just want to watch a movie with some boom. No, you're fine.
Or did we look those up one time? Are they kind of like an SVS PV16 type thing?
Let's look it up. Bring it up.
Tone or D4000? I think we did look them up.
You're going to have some. You got 24 dB per octave roll off with a ported sub, 12 dB per octave with a sealed sub. So technically, the sealed sub can get lower. You need more of them in order to equate what a ported sub is going to deliver as port tune. You're going to have some group delay stuff going on with a ported sub at the port, and you may have some harmonics from the ports and higher frequencies. Would you notice them? I highly doubt it.
I feel like this is overpriced. What do you think?
How much is it?
So it's $1,400.
But remember, he's not in the States.
Okay, that's fair. I was gonna say if you're in the States, you can get a 15-inch driver with a
No,
HSU.
I don't think he's in the States,
but that's immaterial if you're not here.
I want to say he's in China, and that would make sense for Tone Winner.
This looks a lot like kind of a 12-inch SVS, effectively.
Yeah.
Fairly large ported box, decent aesthetics, couple large ports, good to go.
Yeah. I think if you can get it for the correct price, it'd be fine. Don't get all up on sealed versus ported. Sealed is cleaner. Technically it is, but for your applications, you're not going to care. Chris Contreras, Ryan, did you complete your home theater? If so, is there a video of it? So the only video that's been done was done by Haterade Cowboy. So if you want to see the interview, I talk a lot in it, but you can get he interviews me about the room, and there's a build thread on it, and we go through everything. We did finish it. It is done. If you want to come to Kansas City and experience it, you can. You've got a couple more. Waz Bones, do you think a used NZ3 would be worth buying for $1,500 to $2,000? No. Absolutely not. It's a rebranded BenQ.
How'd that happen? Do you have an insider scoop on how that happened?
They wanted a lower price point option.
But this is JVC. Couldn't they just redo some of their old technology?
Margaret says yes, in China, they're under $400 per sub there. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Yeah. You should do that.
Isn't that funny? They get imported to the United States and they cost more than bigger options here.
Yeah.
So Ryan Kramer has the same opinion. That's what I've read on the forums too over the years. But I never understood why. Because JVC's older technology is good. Surely they could...
Manufacturing costs. They probably retooled their manufacturing plants. It's not worth it for them. They'll just license another projector.
It's a weird choice in a lot of ways because it's not a great projector.
No.
And it's using the JVC brand, so it's diluting their brand with a low budget competitor rebrand. I don't understand it.
What would you get in that price point? 50-50?
Yes. If he's in the US, a 50-50 would be the answer.
60-50, depending.
Yeah.
Like something in there used. You could probably maybe get one refurbished. That would be my go-to.
At $2,000, you might be able to get an NX5 if you watch the forums pretty closely. A JVC NX5.
You're encroaching on like NX7.
Potentially. I mean, if you find a fire sale. But I think reliably, if you spent $2,500 or $3,000, you could probably go to NP5.
Mm-hmm.
If you do 2,000, you could probably get an NX5 reliably type range. If you're at the 1,500 end, then it's 50-50.
Yeah.
That's the way I would.
We're on the same page.
Yep.
You guys should have guests at this podcast someday. More people watch this than some others who have guests. I mean, that's true. Maybe we will someday. Should we, Jonathan?
I think it'd be okay if we wanted to do guests like every once in a while.
Sure, I can organize
it. You think so? I mean, do you think it'd be good? We did it when we did this with Youth Band, and then that kind of faded out.
Yeah, I can do it. We'll start. We should. I'll start doing it. I got people that would do it. We'll do it. Did I mention we'll do it? Reclining in near field sub placement, says Happy Bullets. Please explain. Jonathan has done exactly this. Show and tell again.
Ta-da! If I
He
move
built
my face down,
custom boxes.
I can't do it. Those are, dang it. Here we go. Stupid camera. These are curved.
Come on, put your head down by it. There you go. Lay on the floor.
They're curved to accommodate that. Yeah. So these chairs recline in this fashion. Dang it, I'm gonna have to turn that off so it can just stay focused. 1 second. Instalink 360 camera. If I can just pause that nonsense, will be good.
He's going to turn it off and the camera is going to stop moving and go straight down to its rest position. All right, let's lower this. That's raising it. How's that backwards? I got to turn off the auto tracking. Sometimes I question how Jonathan works in IT.
This is my first day. Okay, so now it's auto tracking's off. You can see as I recline this chair, that sub stays pretty close to the back of the chair. So the angle was created with that in mind. That's the intent. Could you even hear what I was saying when I was over there?
Yeah, we got it. You answered his question.
Okay. Why was I on the floor in this podcast? What is wrong with me? Anything for the customer. Anything for the
we do anything for
the audience,
our viewers.
Oh man. It does. My camera about has the intelligence of a
Jonathan's camera has the persona of a golden retriever. We're at the end. Oh.
Look at this. Right here on the podcast. People making connections.
Cetasia, whole home audio, not critical listening. What is the recommendation? A lot of people like Weem, but what amps are recommended when you have 8 to 10 zones? Honestly, what I would do is either Weem, Sonos, or Blue Sound. Easy control from your phone. That's the direction that I would go. 1 amp per zone. It's going to be more expensive than doing a multi-channel amp. But with a multi-channel amp, you're going to have to send everything everywhere. And that's not what we find a lot of people want to do. So that stuff with doing the different amps for different zones just makes them a lot more controllable. And Cetasia, if you need pricing, shoot me a message and maybe we can save you some money. There's many options that we can do. We'll try and find the best one for you. Just scan that code and take you to contact. Making connections. What connections?
Someone in here is offering. He has an NP5 in here. Well, he says NP500. I'm not sure.
I actually have an NP500 for you for 2000. I think that's an MP5. He said MP5. There you go.
That's what you were trying to show.
Now we're a selling marketplace. It's a 30% commission.
We don't know Genesis 344. I don't. So
no
due diligence, but it's nice to have that opportunity if it works out.
Sorry for asking. Jonathan watched
last all over you. Can I do it any more? This makes me laugh. You and your camera like Tony Stark with the arm thing.
Yeah.
Right,
and then he sprays him with the fire extinguisher at the very end after everything's done. Watch Last Samurai Standing and get one of those pizzas. What is that?
The Samurai Standing thing? I don't know either. We'll have to watch that one. Thank you for the super chat, Happy Bullets. That's nice.
Okay.
And I saw that Macro Proxy told us that he's wired one on AVS forums. So every once in a while, it's nice to like figure that out. Like I didn't know that. I've seen Macro Proxy on our podcast for quite a while, and I've interacted with Wired One on the forums, but I didn't know the connection was there. So now I know.
Sometimes that's nice. It'd be
Yeah.
nice if we could have people put aliases in there.
Yeah,
We
if you
could
guys
see their
are
name.
regulars on here and you're on AVS forum, some point opine in the chat and tell us who you are, so we know who you
Maybe
are.
we should make a web form, like a spreadsheet that people can add so we can know who they are.
Mhm.
We can get
I
their
don't know
real
how you.
names and their addresses and no.
What path are you going down right now?
I don't know. Unnecessary path, I guess. All right.
What's the samurai standing thing?
I don't know. While you're looking that up, I'm
Last
out of town next week. I'm gone. I'm at IC. Hopefully, I'll see some new and exciting things that we can come back and we can talk about.
It's a TV series set in the late 19th century period.
Why reuse? Oh, your real names. Yeah.
Right. No mistake in there, Ryan. Sedania sound.
Ryan's everywhere. It's because we're the best.
Gotcha.
We are the best. When should we stream again?
I feel like I might have some things next weekend. It doesn't matter because you're not available either. Are you available Thursday night?
I don't come back until Saturday.
Saturday
and Sunday.
Not really. Might have to be Monday of the week after or something.
Let's just do. I can't do Friday. I can't do Fridays anymore because my daughter's going to have volleyball. Do you want to do Thursday the 12th?
Kicking it out. I think that's fine.
Okay. You're going to forget about me again.
Sorry.
You do.
It happens to the best of us.
I know, which is all the time to me.
Dang it.
But I'm the one that usually does the forgetting, not Jonathan.
Oh.
Okay. Or, you could have like Tim or somebody fill in.
Yeah.
While I'm gone.
Yeah.
You guys will have to work that out. You guys can absolutely do that. That's not a problem.
Tim and Ryan Kramer.
We need to do the week after I get back. So that week, we need to go to that pizza place.
We got a whole Kansas City text group on that talking about.
I know. We need to go. I mentioned that we should all go and reminisce on how much it sucks together so we're not all going independently. Should all go together.
I'm not against it.
Okay. Well,
let's get it organized and let's do it. We can just put something in there and pick a date and see who can go.
Okay. We will do that. Let's do Saturday. The 14th. I'm scheduling. I don't like to leave these things because then it'll never happen.
Yeah.
So Saturday the 14th. No, that's Valentine's Day.
Oh, that would be a disaster. Can't do that one.
My wife doesn't care, but
we overschedule that almost every year. We can't do it again.
How about Tuesday the 10th?
Tuesday the 10th. I mean, right now in this time of year, I don't have a whole lot going on during the week. So unless it's Wednesday night, I'm pretty free. Typically.
All right. I am adding that to my calendar.
Weeknights.
Now. It is on there. There we go. You guys heard it here first. KC crew. February 10th. We're going to get pizza at a place none of us have ever been. None of us even knew existed until somebody from out of town told us about it. That's how terrible we all are at our own city.
It's not only a single place either. There's like 10 of them or something.
There's a lot of them. And did not know about it. Probably for a reason. I don't know. Anyway, we will see you guys in a couple weeks on February 12th. I'll be at ISC. Jonathan may stream again.
We'll try to stream. I see Ryan and Tim both in the chat say we should stream. So.
Oh, I thought Ryan was saying no.
Oh, I think he's goofing around. He likes to stream.
Okay. Well, guys, we'll end it there. Great stream. We had a bunch of people in here. Reminder: M-Wave September 18th through the 20th. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're still trying to iron out the rooms, but we're going to have speaker comparisons, amp comparisons, TV projector comparisons. Latest commitment was Trinov has said they're coming. And Storm has also said they're coming.
Make a little short saying Trinoff's coming to M-Wave, and then
throw it at marketing
and put it on AVS channel so you get more viewership on it. They're partnering with you for M-Wave.
Yeah, I talked to Eric about it. We're doing a bunch of stuff. I'm just bad at this stuff. My brain
You're
doesn't
not
work
bad
that
at this
way.
stuff.
My brain
distracted.
I'm not good at it. That is not me. I am over there. I should be over here. I'm over there. So it's what happens. The Ryans should unite. Ryan can help me with this.
There you are.
Ryan, we can generate some money for you for your projector.
Ooh.
There we go. There's your in.
Ooh.
I can pay you in projectors. How's
the gears are smoking in Ryan's head right now.
I just had that idea. We'll see if Ryan's down for it. We'll find out.
He'd be a good man to have on your team for that.
He would be, the Ryans.
There you are.
All right, guys. Well, enjoyed the stream. If anybody needs anything, shoot me a message. I'll post this one more time. I promise I will talk you out of things if I think you don't need them, even if it's just a question that you may have. And if I don't know the answer, I'll send you to Jonathan or ask somebody that does. But stay safe out there. Enjoy your home theater journeys, and we will see you guys in the next one. See you later.